From the shores of Lake Erie to Browns fans worldwide, hope is alive and the future's bright. There's a Gleam podcast, a Cleveland Browns podcast. Let's get the Gleam together. Cold Lake wind and orange lights, Sunday fire, Dawg Pound nights. We won the scars, we stood the test, brown and orange across our chest. From the Muni lot to the end zone line, this city's heart still beats in time. Through every loss and every dream, you can feel it rise. There's a gleam. Let's get the gleam together. This is our time. Let's get the gleam together. Whoa. Let's get the gleam together. This is our town.
Good afternoon, and welcome to our show. There's a Gleam podcast, a Cleveland Browns podcast. Today is Wednesday, May 6th, and it is actually 12:03 and not our customary 12:02, John, just so you know.
Well, that
I
was late.
I meant actually I was later than you, but happy post Cinco de Mayo. John, how you doing today? And did you
I'm
celebrate Cinco de Mayo?
Yeah, I'm doing good today. I did not celebrate Cinco de Mayo. De Mayo. I worked last night, so I did not get an opportunity to do
Bummer.
much. I know. What about you? Did you go anywhere?
No, we didn't. Actually, my wife's sick. She's been sick. She thinks it might be bronchitis. Who knows? She's either just got allergies, she's got COVID, or she'll be dead in 24 hours. Who knows anymore? But her throat was sore. Her chest was bothering her. So I thought I started getting a little bit sick here with my throat. So I'm slightly under the weather, but I think I'm feeling all right. I'm nowhere near like her. I think I have allergies now, which I never did growing up. So I don't know, but we did not. We stayed home and did not get to go out anywhere, unfortunately, which I like Cinco de Mayo.
I think I'm getting allergies too now that I'm getting older, which is kind of
Right.
weird to say that. I've never really had this before. I get like scratchy throats and I don't know.
Me neither. I've been blessed. I mean, besides having, I've had 2 hip replacements and from sports and, some knee surgeries, but growing up as a kid, I was pretty healthy. No allergies, nothing. I mean, I feel bad. Some of these people, I'm allergic to this, that, the other, pretty much anything around them. But I do think you're right. As you get older, your body changes. So, although we did find, you ever see that movie Hitch? Will Smith.
Yeah. Well, when he had to take that Benadryl and he ate
True story. So when I had my first hip replacement, I was taking, I think, oxycodone. And all of a sudden, the one day my lip got big, about the size of like a ping pong ball. I'm like, what the hell? Then I think it was like the next day, I got a big knot on my forehead, like a golf ball. I'm like, what the hell's? And so we called her, like, we think you're allergic to it. Okay, good to know. But I kind of look like Hitch with stuff getting bigger. And then it was funny because thank God I got a good pharmacist because they switched me from oxycodone to hydrocodone, I think it's called. And my pharmacist is like, why are you switching? And we told her the story. And she's like, well, if you're allergic to the one that's in the codeine family, you're probably allergic to them all. I'm like, well, thank God you got a brain. So they put me on something else and I was fine. But yeah, no, I had that same thing happen. So
very underrated movie, Hitch, by the way.
I do love that movie. That's a good movie. Well, I'm a big fan of Will Smith and I love Kevin James. I've been told I'm kind of got his kind of personality. Plus, I'm kind of big like him. So yeah, I do love me Kevin James, though.
Hey, real quick on Cinco de Mayo, Taylor, this is just a little shout out to in Lakewood. There's a place called Taco Tantos.
Yeah.
He said she went there yesterday with her friends. I talked to Taylor, my daughter, this morning, and she said they have great happy hour there. So if you're in the Lakewood area, hit up Taco Tantos. She said they have quesadillas and a bunch of stuff for like $6, nachos. So it's and it's from 2 to 6.
Nice. Lakewood is such a great spot, man. They have so many restaurants. I don't know if people realize just how many great restaurants and bars there are in Lakewood.
Yeah, there are a lot.
You could probably spend half the year trying to hit a place every day and not still hit everything, I think. I don't know the exact number, but they got to have well over, about 100 or so places, maybe?
Who even knows? There's a lot.
I don't know. Although, funny story, I'm so bad with numbers anymore. I used to be a numbers guy. I remember I was talking to my wife and we were talking about laundry. And she's like, I was busting her chops a little bit. She's like, I've done probably 1 million loads. I'm like, really? I'm like 1 million. So we just started being like kind of smart. I'm like, if you did 5 loads a day since you were born, at this, we figured out it came out to like, I don't know, 12,000. We were laughing. You thought maybe 100,000, 200,000. When you really do some of the numbers and you think about, God, I've done 1 million of these. You're like, no, you did about 20,000 or so and nowhere near 1 million. So
kind of like Wilt Chamberlain's math was off, I believe.
With his lady friends?
Yes.
You might be right with that. So, all right. Well, on that note, I want to share some of our social media things. Hopefully, you know by now, you can catch us live on Wednesdays at noon on YouTube, Facebook at There's a Gleam Podcast. On X, it's on at Hemi44. You can also find us both on TikTok. John is at, you know what? You're killing me here. I think you changed your name again.
I did, Steve. John CLE.
John CLE at There's a Gleam.
That's it. Yep.
And I'm at There's a Gleam Podcast. So I think if you put There's a Gleam Podcast, you'll get one of us. You can listen later to our podcast on Apple, Spotify, and YouTube, which usually will air either later today or on Thursdays. And John, I believe the YouTube podcast is up live as our show is. We'll have to confirm that, but we've had people come and say, "Hey, I can't find you. You're not showing up." And I think they're listening to the podcast version. So,
you got to go to the live version.
It's kind of weird. I pulled the screen up, so I think you actually have to go. There's a podcast. There's a live button, but I think it's the live show tab you got to go under, not podcast. I think one of them is like that. So I don't know. It's above my pay grade. We need our tech guy to figure this out. But anyway, and then finally, check out our new website. We're at, again, www.there'sagleam.com. Or for those of you watching live, you can check up at the top corner there, left corner, our QR code. And there you'll find links to all our social media pages. You can check out our bios. And the best part, you can send us a voice message. And to make it simple for you, it's pretty easy. All you have to do is just click start recording, then hit the stop button once you've done recording. You can then give your name and email. Both are optional if you don't want to give other. And then hit the send button. It's that simple, and we may play it on the next show. So right now, John, I believe, what's the question we're asking the fans?
The question we have on the webpage right now that you can leave a message for us that we can play on the show is, who should start at quarterback, Deshaun Watson or Shedeur Sanders, and why?
Oh, that's a good one. So, yeah, hop on our webpage, leave us a recording, and let us know. Here's see who'll be the first to leave a message. So, come on now. Don't be shy. We want to hear from you. I'm kind of surprised. I thought maybe our buddy James, who's does a lot of commenting, or Dominic or Chris, one of those three, I thought would have left one by now, but feel free to leave us a message and we may play it on the air here. So
it is kind of a new thing. So maybe we're just getting it out there. Maybe they haven't heard about it, but it is out there. Go to the website. There's agleam.com. Leave us a message. We'll play.
There you go. So awesome. Today we're going to talk a little Browns news. We got some groundbreaking ceremony stuff. We got some comments Roger Goodell made about the draft and a future draft and possible Super Bowl. We have a nice little video about PSL pricing and possible sticker shock. There's a surprise.
Yeah.
We're going to talk a little about the behind the scenes. I'm sure a lot of people have seen it. The Cowboys Browns trade talks, which I found fascinating. Shedeur Sanders graduated from Colorado. Got a little bit about that. John's going to do the Gleam Meter check. We got some AFC North and around the league news. Our new segment, Inside the Dawg Pound. We're going to be featuring our first free agent Fido today. So I'm really excited about that.
I'm super excited about the free agent Fido. This is something that hits both of us right in the heart. And I think this is something that it's going to be good for the show and good for the pet pals.
Yes, sir. I saw the Euclid Pet Pals shared it and stuff. They're getting their followers to kind of watch and stuff. And they're excited to see who the first one's going to be themselves. We got our 2-minute drill. The land is back this week, and John visited Easy out in Lakewood, and we got some more stuff. So why don't we get going here, John? Let's start off with some Browns news.
Yeah, the last week, Steve, the big groundbreaking ceremony took place actually right down the street from me.
Yes.
Unfortunately, I was at work when they did it, so I couldn't sneak in, which I would have tried probably. But the countdown is officially underway until 2029 when the Browns will be playing at their new home, Huntington Bank Field. Is that the name, Huntington Bank Field, or is it just Huntington Bank Stadium? I'm not sure, but
Huntington Bank Field, I believe.
Is it? Okay.
By the way, did you know how did you get invited to that? I don't think you could just show up if you want. I think it was an invite only to people.
I was going to just show up.
You should have. You know who I am. You should have tried to press pass. Made up something, print something out. I got a press pass. There's a Gleam podcast here.
I thought about it. Trust me.
Clip that.
So they did the groundbreaking ceremony. Did you see the groundbreaking ceremony, Steve? How they
I did see. Yeah.
Like you remember the old fashioned groundbreaking? They put their shovels in the ground and scoop a shovel full of dirt. Well, this one was kind of set up really cool. They had like a little mock-up of the field with little dirt along the side, and then all the guests of honor would take a little shovelful and throw it onto the miniature field. I don't know if you have a picture of that, Steve, or not, but it was pretty cool.
I did not. I just had the guitar thing. So
okay. Anyways, I thought Big Dawg was there.
Was he?
Yeah, he was scooping a shovel full of dirt, which I found cool, but in a weird way, a little strange that he's been out of the limelight for so long.
Yeah.
I would have thought maybe they would have gotten a Browns fan like Macho Man or Pumpkinhead or something like that.
Brown Spider got my vote. Macho Man was there. I did see him.
Yes.
Fact, I think one of the videos I had, you keep seeing his head in the background or from behind, but yeah, they did have some of the fans.
The first lady was there too, right? With him. The first lady.
Yes, sir.
So, but yeah, I thought one of them may have been a better choice, but I guess Big Dog John Thompson has some deep roots going back to the old stadium.
Yeah, I could see that. You know, I'm excited. Like I said, I mean, it's kind of funny. They started breaking ground actually a little while ago, but the official ceremony took place. They had a beautiful day.
They did.
Yeah, I can't wait. I'm getting excited. That I got to admit, the hype video they put out was pretty impressive.
It was. I
thought about playing it, or bringing it, but I'm sure people have seen it. So, I thought that was pretty cool, though.
And Roger Goodell, he was saying, I guess the Browns are probably going to get a draft, but Super Bowl, we're falling a little bit short on the rooms.
Well, funny you should say that. I got a video about that, and we were going to play that, actually. So let's hear right from the horse's mouth what he had to say about potential draft and Super Bowl.
You mentioned that point, and listen, the draft was here in 2020 under really difficult circumstances as we were all battling. I guess it was 21 technically, but as we were battling through COVID and trying to get out of it, it was not the event that we expected, but this community came together and met those challenges, and we pulled the draft off here. But it wasn't, I think, the impact that was necessary. So Jimmy and I have talked about it a lot. I've talked about it with other committees. We look forward to coming back here with the draft soon, for sure. I think it's important.
There's Macho Man.
On the Super Bowl, listen, I have no doubt that this stadium is going to be Super Bowl quality. Zero doubt about that. I think the challenge now for this community, and hopefully this stadium and this development is going to be transformative, is how does the rest of the facilities in the community develop? Because we not just have 72,000, 75,000 people coming to the Super Bowl, it's close to 200,000 people that come in. So airports, hotels, we have hotel needs of close to 50 if not 60,000. Some of the competitors, Los Angeles, some of those other markets are 100,000. So those are the things that we're going to have to develop along with these opportunities around the stadium. But you have the stage, now we have to bring the facilities around it.
There you go. That's some interesting comments there. First about the draft. Well, we all know that took place in 2021, the year after COVID, when they started, kind of opening things back up, and it was nowhere near what it should have been. I think people were hesitant. I didn't go. I would
have loved to go on it. I remember MGK was playing down there. I would have loved to go on and seen him.
Absolutely. But one thing he said, Goodell said, we look forward to coming back here for the draft soon. And he said that the date hasn't been decided yet, but that his guess was sometime in that period of the stadium opening. So I know next year's draft is in Washington, D.C.
Okay.
And it was also reported that Minnesota is the favorite for the 2028 draft. So could we possibly host it after the stadium opens in 29?
So actually, that would be the draft of 2030 because they'll be playing football.
Yeah, I highly doubt it'd be ready at the beginning of the year 29.
Yeah,
so yeah, more likely possibly as early as 2030. So, and then for the Super Bowl, you know, like he said, stadium first class, no doubt that'd be perfect for Super Bowl hosting it. It's the infrastructure around, and I think he said specifically hotel rooms. I think it was estimated. I thought I saw somewhere we have about 22,000 rooms, and they usually need what he said, 50 to 60,000 or more.
Okay. Well, 50,000. They actually only need 49,997 rooms because I'll be Airbnb my house out for a couple grand.
That's right. You're right there in Brook Park, quarter mile away. Not even. You even get shuttle service to and from.
Yeah.
Dude, that would be awesome. Could you imagine that? I would love that. That is so awesome. So there you go. You know, but like they said, Nashville, aren't they supposed to host a Super Bowl or something?
I don't remember the list now of the next couple Super Bowls.
In contention and stuff or something. And they didn't have the infrastructure at first. So they've kind of, in time built up. I don't think it'll be in the next 5 years, but at some point. So anyway, thought some of that was interesting.
Yeah.
We also, this one, I happen to be watching the news and saw this little clip and I had to grab it. I saw that and I thought it was real interesting. It was, well, here, let me pull it up here. It was David Jenkins is his name.
Okay.
And he's David Jenkins, the president of Haslam Sports Group. And he had some interesting comments. Here's what he had to say about PSLs in the new stadium.
Oh boy.
Jenkins, who says fans won't have to wait much longer to get their personal seat licenses.
PSLs will be involved. Will be going on sale later this summer. Look, frankly, there may be a little sticker shock when the first ones get released, but the most expensive get released first. But over 70% of the building is going to be general admission tickets. So we really pride ourselves on developing entry points for all fans, and then we're going to do that with this building.
So, I like what he said.
Yeah.
Frankly, there may be a little sticker shock. Do you think? After that survey we both did and all the fans? Hell yes, there's going to be sticker shock.
Yeah, there is.
He said what? Over 70% of the building is going to be general admission tickets. Excuse me, tickle my throat. The Browns also announced, and I said we got this. They're accepting deposits for the new stadium PSL. They said that would put you in the front of the line after the current season holders. And that was, what was it? That was a little thing they did, place your deposit. And if I remember correctly here, I had it here. So to put a deposit down right now for a reserve seat or club seat, it is $25, which, okay, I'm like, that's reasonable.
Right, yeah.
And if you think you're one of those people that are going to get a suite, then a deposit is $2,000. So again, they did preference that this would be after season ticket holders have decided who's renewing or who's not. Then it'd be open up to the public, but you can reserve your spot, get in front of the line there, and with a deposit, $25 deposit. So
that's reasonable.
I thought that was. I'll give them credit for that. So I thought another part during this whole ceremony, Joe Thomas had asked Denzel Ward if they were going to get Coach Monken to jump into the Dawg Pound after he gets his first win this year, and I had this clip for his response.
Going to get Coach Monken to jump in the Dawg Pound after his first win on opening day this year, you would think?
I hope so. Bet your ass.
All right, there we go. You heard it here first.
You bet your ass, John.
You bet your ass.
So I want to see that man jumping into the Dawg. Hopefully it's in week 1 or 2, whenever our first game is. It's sooner rather than later, huh?
Yeah. I really like Todd Monken.
He's grown. I mean, I think we all would admit that at first we're like, we're hiring who? Everybody thought it's going to be a young, hotshot, up and coming coordinator. And it wasn't, it was him. So our buddy Chris Cantor commented 70%. Does that mean the Browns Stadium is currently only 30% season ticket holders? I would have thought Browns had more than that. And No, Chris, what he's saying was 70% of the building is going to be like general admission tickets and stuff, clubs, not like the real expensive stuff, suites and whatnot. So I think they're trying to stress a point that there's a price point for everybody and not just the expensive ones is how I interpreted and I think what they meant. Right, John?
And the Browns are giving a credit to season ticket holders. We have like $1,000, $1,100.
$1,125. Don't shortchange us.
So they are trying to. I feel like the Browns are trying to do the right thing and make this work for Browns fans, even though they will be a little pricey.
Oh hell yeah, I agree. I think they're preparing us for that too. I think there's going to be a lot. If those are anywhere, I mean, I don't remember them all, but I know for like if you're going to do like one of the Primo suites and something else, and they're talking like 150,000 as your PSL, which I mean, I guess if you're a major company that has a company suites, it's probably not a problem. But our suites, I saw anywhere from $1,500 to $10,000, and then some going 25. So who knows? But
that's sports today, my friend.
Yeah, you're right. So anyway, thought that stuff was kind of interesting. Other exciting news I saw was Shedeur Sanders graduated from Colorado this past weekend.
Right. Got his degree. Yeah. And I also heard.
Did you see it was a degree in sociology? And give him credit. 3.9 GPA while playing in the NFL.
Yeah. Smart kid.
Yeah, he is.
And I heard he also said he might go for his master's now.
I did see that too.
Just because he wants to learn more. So
he's not a dumb kid. And then I couldn't find a good picture, but he did something. Well, if you look at, I don't have it on there. He honored his father. Oh wait, I do have that one. He honored his father with his ceremony, and I have the picture of that. So before it, he had, there it is. He kind of laid it out on the floor, like what he was going to be wearing and everything. And I guess that was, I read that was in honor of his father. He laid out his cap gown the same way that Dion laid out his uniform in the locker room before he took the field for the 49ers in Super Bowl 29. And I did see the picture of Dion with kind of the same thing as uniform. So that was kind of an ode to his father, which I thought was kind of neat.
That is nice. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Of course, the football uniform is a little bit different than a graduation gown, but I get the point.
Yeah, it's still a sentiment. I give him credit.
Yeah.
Kid had a privileged life. He ain't struggling for stuff, but got his degree, finished it. That's impressive. I thought it was pretty good.
No, it's good. I love Shedeur Sanders. And I've always loved Dion too. So
yeah, I agree. And then I thought this was really so. We had an inside look at the Browns and Cowboys, and during the draft with that first pick when it was pick 6, or was it pick 6?
Yes.
Yeah. They had ESPN had to show the pick is in, which gave fans an inside look at what's going on during the draft. Specifically, they had the Browns and Cowboys talking trade. And then they also had some comments about the Browns' thoughts on the best tackle in the draft. So I thought that was really cool to kind of get an inside look. And we're going to play that real quick and kind of get our thoughts on that. So,
okay, yeah.
We'll play it here in a second if I can find. Oh, you know what? I got to add it because I didn't have enough space. StreamYard's got to change that. I need to be able to put all. I got like 30 things I played.
I found it interesting that the Browns had 3 players that they were locked in on.
Yep, I got it right here, John.
You got it? Okay.
And then the Browns will select next.
Maybe Dallas is asking if they need interest in one.
Yeah, Will text me too. I told him it's on who's there and it depends on the price.
They will come up to 9.
Just say, what about? They're 24. So 9 and 24 for 12 and 20. Asking just to cogitate on it.
They want to do 9 and 24 for 12 and 20, which is light on all dimensions.
Oh, there it is.
New Orleans has submitted its pick. Cleveland is on the clock.
Tyson. Yeah, that makes sense.
All right. You get a tackle.
New Orleans Saints select Jordan Tyson, wide receiver, Arizona State.
They're on the clock. They're on the clock. I offered their 9-24 for 12 and 20.
And say, what else would you want?
Best caller.
Yeah.
Is this Andrew?
Yeah, how you doing?
Hey, this is Steven. Are y'all going to pick away here?
We are. We wouldn't do the swap of the first round.
Okay, if we threw in a 5, would that change it?
No, that wouldn't really move for us.
Doesn't move the needle. Okay.
Yeah, so.
Appreciate you.
I appreciate you, though.
All right.
All right. That's a lot.
I keep hearing Cleveland wants an offensive lineman, and they're worried New York's going to take it. They don't want to get behind the Giants.
That's right. All right, hey, Ayers, this was your orange dot, buddy. What's it like about Spencer Potter?
We're getting the best tackle in this entire draft. This kid's rare combination of athleticism, quickness, strength, and his ability to excel on pass protection is truly something special. I think he's an excellent run blocker. He's gritty, he's tough, he's rangy, and most important thing, this is the best person in the entire draft. This is one of the highest character guys I've done in the 10 years I've been on the road. This guy fits us beautifully.
Browns pick Fano.
Exactly what they wanted. They just picked up an extra third and an extra fifth.
I love the inside stuff. That's some cool video there.
A lot to take away from that. So yeah, Dallas was offering it was 12 and 20 and a 5th round pick for the Browns for 9 and 24.
Would you have done that, Steve? Or would you did what Barry did?
No, I probably wouldn't. It's amazing how teams kind of know stuff too and kind of have a feel for what teams are doing. I found it interesting to me that the Browns had 3 players they were locked. It seemed like they were locked in on 3 players with this draft.
Right, they were.
And I don't know if it was in that particular order or what, but they said Fano, Mawanoa, and Jordan Tyson. Well, Tyson went 8th to the Saints. I think it was for me. I came away a few things. I came away impressed with Barry. He never seemed panicked or rattled. He kind of expected stuff. You could see how he thought what other teams were going to do and who they were going to take. And I mean, he played it perfect. I thought. What did you think? I mean,
I thought so too. Seeing that insight right there gave me a lot more confidence in Andrew Barry.
Well,
to see how he operates behind the scenes.
Oh, totally agree. I think people think that they're just a cluster F with everything, and we're throwing darts, or you got NFL Draft for Dummies book they're looking at. Who should we take? Who we taking?
Right.
They had a plan. They executed it. They had the guys they wanted. I think we're all going to want to know 2 things. One, was Tyson really that receiver he really wanted? I mean, if Tate had been there, would they have stayed? Would they have not? I think, being a Buckeye and a Browns fan, I'd always kind of wonder that. It would have been interesting, but the way he set them in the order, I forget now, usually you group something. Oh, we have the tackles, Fano and Mawanoa, and the receiver, but I think he said something like Fano, Tyson, and Mawanoa as a 3. So that kind of was a little telling. Like maybe Fano was his number 1 all along with Tyson. And then, Dallas, they're like, hey, they want to stay in front of Giants because Giants, they believe, want a lineman, and that's what they did to our surprise. So, well, actually, they moved up to 9, right? Or no, I'm thinking of Dallas. The Giants got him hitting it. It was the Giants. The Giants went. I was thinking Dallas. They took down. So anyway, I thought that was interesting. Was Tyson their number 1 receiver all along?
I think he probably was. I think Tyson probably. But I'll tell you what. I think Concepcion was right there too.
Well, I think you ask everybody. Most people thought everything I read and saw. Everybody had Tyson. Take away the injuries, and he's by far the number 1 receiver in this draft. There's the injury history that scared a lot. So he very well could have been. So it was fascinating. If you haven't seen it, check it out. They also had the Raiders in there, and there were some pretty good things there. I think their GM at one point made a trade in the 2nd round and got what he wanted and stuff. And he's like, I love trading. Kind of felt like fantasy. Remember, I can equate it to fantasy football and trying to make trades, and you're throwing out all these ridiculous things. So, but no, that was very insightful. Really enjoyed it. Gave you a good look. And if nothing else, my confidence in this organization and the Barry and his staff grew way higher.
Yeah, exponentially for me.
Absolutely.
Now I feel confident, especially after the last draft and now this one. Hopefully these guys pan out. And, you know, and it's just reaffirmed to me that Andrew Berry is the right man for the job right now.
Absolutely. And the other thing is, I mean, I think DePodesta had a much, much larger role specifically with draft and this roster than we realized. And he may have outweighed Berry. I mean, we're going to see. We won't know with this draft for at least a couple of years, how this one turns out. But if it's anything like last year, man, you've got to be excited. So that being said, Todd McShay, I saw he had an interesting comment here. Watching some of his podcasts, he had put, I don't know if I've ever had more of a promising feeling coming off an NFL draft than I do right in this moment about the Cleveland Browns. Wow. That was by Todd McShay. Clip that.
Wow.
I thought that was fascinating that he was that high on what the Browns did. So interesting stuff there. But and finally, I think in Browns news, we had one other thing, I think, John.
The training rookie minicamp starting May 8th, which is
this weekend.
That's Saturday, right? Or no, Friday.
Friday. Yep.
Rookie minicamp starting Friday, 8th through the 10th.
There you go. Any rookie you're kind of looking forward to, or not really too early to tell?
Yeah, it's too early to tell. I just want to see them all. I want to see them in their uniforms, hear them talk a little bit.
I just don't want to ever hear. I don't want to hear anybody getting hurt.
Yeah, that's the last thing we need.
Yeah, that's always but yeah, no. So some good stuff there. So Johnny, we're going to do that's it for our Browns news. We're going to go to our sponsor, Wet Jet Pressure Washing. And what do you got for us?
All right, well, Steve, let's talk about leveling up your home or business, because if it's looking rough after Northeast Ohio winter, you already know Wet Jet Pressure Washing is the move. Now, they're based out of Painesville Township and cover all of Northeast Ohio. And these guys do it all, Steve. House washing, roof cleaning, gutters, concrete sealing, deck restoration, even commercial fleet cleaning. If it's dirty, they're coming for it. They've been doing this since 2001, 25 years of experience, fully insured, bonded, and using top-of-the-line equipment with eco-friendly cleaning solutions. This isn't just a guy with a hose. This is the pros. And here's where you win. Mention There's a Gleam podcast, and you get $75 off their spring cleaning package. That's a full house wash and exterior windows. If your place needs a reset after the winter, this is the call to make. Do yourself a favor. Call Scott and the team at 440-283-WASH. That's 440-283-9274, or hit them up at Wet Jet Pressure Washing. Wet Jet Pressure Washing. Clean that stands out. Let's get the gleam back.
There you go. And I can attest to them. I have used them before, and they do outstanding work. So give the gang a call. I don't think you'll be disappointed. And there you go. Next segment we have, Johnny, is our Gleam Meter.
All right. See, well, we did a special Gleam Meter this week for the Browns' new stadium. We asked the question, where's your gleam at? So we had 1 through 5 again, as we always do for the Gleam Meter. 5 is I'm sorry, I'll start at 1. There's no gleam. Fix the team first. 2 is a flicker. Cool stadium. Still skeptical. 3 is a strong gleam, warming up to it. 4 is a bright gleam. This could be huge for Cleveland. Or 5, full gleam, dome, Super Bowl, Final Four. Let's effing go. Where do you think our gleam is at right now, Steve?
I think I'm going to say still a solid 3.
You are correct. 100% strong. We have a strong gleam. This was taken across all of our social media platforms. Pretty much this week was just a lot of numbers, more so than comments.
Yeah.
So people are right now, they're a strong gleam for the new stadium, and they're warming up to it. And I feel that once they start building and the steel starts getting riveted together, that might go up a little bit.
Yeah. Although I will admit, my gleam I was closest for me personally, going up to almost a 4 after watching the pick is in segment and how I feel about this staff. But like I said, we got to see these guys play first. I mean, I don't think they reached for anybody. I thought it was a good, solid draft. And Peter Schrager had something. He went on too about the Browns. He had just the other day. I couldn't pull the video though. I'm too dumb to figure out if it's not a download video. I don't know how to get it to the MP3 things or MP4. So anyway, his comments were pretty interesting. So, but we won't know until they're on the field and we actually see the results. But you got to be encouraged.
Yeah, definitely.
All
that's Gleam Meter for this week.
There you go, people. All right, we got a little bit of AFC North news. Know your enemy, as we like to call it. And John, I'm gonna let you take it. You did some of the crack research on this. So, what did you find for us this week? It's getting hard. I got to admit, this is kind of that period where it's going to be tough to get some information, but you were able to find a little bit here for us.
It's so funny, Steve. It seems like every other team you kind of got to dig for little nuggets. And the Browns just have stuff falling out of their pockets, one story after another, things happening every single day, which makes it kind of fun talking Browns. Of course, sometimes not when they play on Sundays. That kind of painful, but they have always have something going on. But with this week, know your enemy, Baltimore Ravens. The Ravens are giving former Vanderbilt quarterback Diego Pavia a clean slate. He's one of the first ones to come in and the last to leave. You know, he had that he put a post up, Steve. Now I can't remember off the top of my head what it was. That kind of damn, do you remember that post that he posted, Diego Pavia?
I don't.
It was bad, whatever it was. It wasn't a good look for him. But I guess he's going in Baltimore.
Was that back when they were in Vegas or somewhere weird with his brothers or something?
You know what? I'm gonna have to. I'll look it up next week. I'll get it on again. I forget what it was. So many stories in my head. I don't know, but anyways, so he's looks like he may be the backup in Baltimore. They also have Tyler Huntley, so I imagine Tyler Huntley be 2, and then Diego be 3.
Yeah.
Calais Campbell returns to Baltimore. Get this, Steve. He's 40 years old. Well, he'll be 40 years old, I guess, when the season starts.
Yeah.
39 right now. So he will be coming back to Baltimore. In his first run in Baltimore, he had 113 tackles, 11 sacks, 9
He played awesome for him the last time around with him. He was
a
force.
I'm just amazed that you've got this guy at defensive line playing almost till 40 or in 40 this year. Amazing.
I mean, you're seeing quarterbacks do it now. I think with a lot of the rules and protections in place, they're lasting a little longer, but I don't think he'll be that preeminent starter, but maybe a good role player. I mean, at 40, if he can still bring it, I guess. Obviously, the man's kept his body in decent shape. I mean, man, those linemen, they take a pounding on those lines. So it'll be interesting to see, but kind of old for my liking.
Yeah, a little old.
I'm being nice.
Cincinnati Bengals. Joe Burrow says Cincinnati knows the time is now. He said, we're in our primes playing great football. And after another playoff miss last year, the Bengals attacked the offseason by rebuilding the defense. They traded for, as you know, Dexter Lawrence, added Jonathan Allen, signed Boyd Maffey, added Brian Cook, and drafted edge rusher Cassius Howell. So they're loading up. It looks like they're going hunting for bear in that AFC North.
Yeah.
But Joe Burrow said soon it's going to be our job to go out on the field and execute. So the Bengals are going all in this year on the NFC North the way they loaded up that defense, which they needed to do. They needed to do. Defense was definitely a weak spot. And
I agree.
Sorry, go ahead, Steve.
No, I was just saying I agree. Their defense definitely was that, and Burrow's got to stay healthy, but yeah.
Yeah. Steve, the other thing with the Cincinnati Bengals is
you look like Adam Schefter there for a second, like you're getting an alert on your phone.
I'm getting.
There's been a trade. There's been a trade.
I'm looking for the Diego Pavia the tweet that he did. It was something about after the Heisman. I think I'll look it up. Anyways.
Oh yeah, I think I know what you're talking about. I don't remember exactly.
Exactly. He's just being a dick. DeAndre Hopkins wants to play with Joe Burrow.
Mm-hmm.
And he was DeAndre. What's that, Steve?
Oh, I was just gonna say.
Good for me, good for everybody.
I love that.
I love that too. So he was asked if he could choose any quarterback to play with right now. He said it would be Joe Burrow. I got to go with Joe Burrow. I think Joe is one of the best. I love his game, his toughness. And he believes that Cincinnati can get back to the Super Bowl with a little bit of help. Now, interesting timing concerning Hopkins spent last season with the Ravens. He's 34 years old and he's chasing that ring.
Yeah.
Bengals
He was at one point, he was such a phenomenal receiver. I don't think he's quite the same as he used to be.
I remember when him and Deshaun Watson used to light it up.
And I mean, Texans, he was a monster.
He was a beast.
Yeah.
But the Bengals already have Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, and Colby Young. So I don't know if Hopkins will be in Cincinnati or not. We should.
Nope. Any Steeler news today, or
Steve? As the world turns, so goes the Pittsburgh Steelers when Aaron Rodgers. We talk about this is like the only Pitt story really coming out of Pittsburgh. Steelers owners said the team still believes Rodgers will make a decision in the next few weeks, despite the process dragging deep into the offseason. And Art Rooney II said he's been keeping us up to date on his plans. Now, Pittsburgh placed an unrestricted free agent tender on Rodgers this week. That's mainly as an insurance. So they could get compensation if he goes somewhere else with the draft pick.
You know what? If I was Pittsburgh, if I was a Pittsburgh fan, which I'm not, thankfully, but if I was a fan, I'd be like, you know what, Aaron, we don't want you. We drafted Will Howard the year before, which was intriguing. There's a part, I know there's a lot of fans here. I was hoping the Browns would maybe take him, possibly. And then they went and took Drew Aller. Again, somebody with the Browns thought, there was widely speculated that had he come out last year, the Browns would have taken him with the second pick potentially. They got two young guys, and like we keep hearing, supposedly next year's draft is going to be the draft of all drafts, especially for quarterbacks. If I'm a Steeler fan, forget Aaron Rodgers. You're not going to win a Super Bowl with them. I don't think you'll make the playoffs, but maybe you will. But I would rather just see the young kids, see what I got, and if one of them are the guy, then cool. If not, I'm going into the draft next year trying to get my quarterback. But you know what? Hope they don't. Wait for Rodgers. I hope he plays. I hope he sucks. And I hope you have to wait at least another year. I hope it takes you 20-something years to find your next franchise quarterback like it's taken us. So there you go.
Me too. Oh, and by the way,
right there.
And one last thing, Steve, on the Baltimore Ravens, Diego Pavia.
Yeah.
He said it was after the Heisman. He said, I don't know how I forgot this. He said, F all the voters.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So that he's got a clean slate in Baltimore, I guess. And that's it for Know Your Enemy.
There's a lot to know there. So there you go. Some interesting stuff there. Mike said, I'm sorry, I'm a little late on some of these.
Oh, yeah.
Mike Palmer said, I haven't been to a Browns game since the old stadium. Wow. Well, Mike, you live in North Carolina, I believe, but that's a long time. That would have been 95 was the last time you could have been there because they were gone 96, 7, and 8. And if they were back in 99, you haven't been there. Well, Mike, maybe the next time you're back in town, you can get some tickets and go to, or you can wait 3 years and go to the new one. And then I know a good Airbnb place you might be able to stay at if you're back in town and need a place to stay. And Debbie commented that her Gleam is a 4.
Okay, good. I like that.
She is higher on that. So there you go with that. NFL news. I think we just got a few things.
I'll run through these real quick. I grabbed these. The big one the Browns fans would be interested in. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are preparing to pay Baker Mayfield. He's in the last year of his deal. He's under contract right now. He signed a $100 million contract. He's 31 years old. Now they want to keep him. Tampa Bay they want him in there. However, I don't know what the market's going to be because Josh Allen's making $330 million. Mahomes will make $450 million. You know he's not in that territory.
No,
but he's also most average quarterbacks are on that $200 million. So see if Tampa Bay is going to ante up and sign Baker probably to his last big contract, I would think.
Yeah, I would think so.
Packers added. I'm sorry, Steve.
I'm trying to think. Daniel Jones. What didn't he get something like 40, 80? Wasn't it like 80, 90 million for a couple of years? So 40 something when he signed his. So my guess is somewhere in that 40 to 50 million range. No,
50 million for 4 years.
45 to 50 at least.
$200 million contract.
He's better than Daniel Jones, so
he'll be 35 then.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Oh, Green Bay Packers signed Tyrod Taylor as a backup to Jordan Love.
Okay.
Tyrod, he played with the Cleveland Browns, and he's entering his 16th year. his 8th NFL team.
Wow.
Then we also have Bryce Young. Carolina picked up Bryce Young's 5th-year option, so he's locked in through 2027.
I will agree. I will admit he's turned it around. I was not his first couple of years. I mean, man, what were they thinking? It was like 5'5". But he actually had a good year last year. The team as a whole had a good year, so I'll give him some credit.
And then the last one I got, Steve, this one kind of for you for fantasy. I know he's kind of been your bell cow workhorse, Alvin Kamara, getting ready for year 10 in New Orleans.
I did love me some Alvin Kamara back in the day. He was phenomenal. Dual back and do everything. Yep. I spent many a years. He was on the Guzzlers franchise.
Yeah. So that's it. He's coming back to New Orleans for his 10th season.
All right. Well, there you go. Some good stuff there, John. All right. So this one I'm real excited about. This is our new segment we announced last week. We're calling this segment Inside the Dawg Pound. And it's our new partnership with Euclid Pet Pals. You can see their information scrolling across the bottom of your screen if you're watching live. But all right, Dawg Pound, it's time to spotlight a different kind of free agent. One who's been waiting way too long for a shot at a forever home. This week's free agent that John and I, we got to meet him a few weeks ago. We were trying to figure out who's going to be our first one, and we found what we believe to be the best way to start this off. Our free agent Fido of the week is Norris. And John, you have a picture?
Got Norris right there.
There you go. That's a great picture. So tell you a little bit about Norris here. Let me pull this over. I don't want to mess up the details here.
Right.
Very important. All right. Norris is believed to be around 3.5 to 4-year-old male, believed to be a Carolina dog. He's checking in somewhere around 40 to 50-ish pounds. And Browns fans, this one hits a little different. Norris has been at the shelter for nearly his entire life. We're talking about close to 3.5 years waiting for his name to be called. That's longer than some coaching tenures, John.
Yeah, it is.
So let's talk some scouting report. Do you have a video of him, John?
Here he is. I got a little bit when we went to visit him. He's drinking some water. I got a little video of him.
Okay, perfect. Keep posting those photos. Norris, here's the scouting report on Norris. He's athletic, active, friendly, and playful. We saw that firsthand. We were in the play yard with him. I got to admit, he scared me at first. He was carrying his toy around, running around, just tail up in the air, looked happy as could be, but he had like this little growl to him. Mm-hmm. And it was the first time we got to meet him, and I'm like, is he okay? And they're like, oh, we forgot to say it's his one of his little quirks he has. He loves to kind of like growl when he's running around with a toy.
Yeah.
Totally harmless, never once bothered us, kept coming up to us. Just he's a high motor guy and loves to run, play, and hit those full speed zoomies like he's breaking off a 70-yard touchdown, they say. He's also super smart. He thrives on learning, and currently he's putting in the work these days. 3 days a week, he goes to Up and Adam dog training. And even better, that training is going to continue for free after the adoption. So if you decide to adopt Norris, they're going to continue that training. I don't know the exact period of time, how long it'll be. So you'd have to check with them, but they will continue that free of service. So his future team gets a guy who's coachable and still developing. Now every great player has a system that fits them best. And here's the lowdown with Norris. So he does well with cats, they say, and kids 10 and older, but he prefer to be the only dog in home. Think of him as your clear-cut number one wide receiver.
He definitely, yeah. He's for sure.
He's also a bit of an escape artist, they say. So he's going to need to have a fenced-in yard where he can safely burn off that energy. The basics are covered. He's neutered, vaccinated, microchipped, in-house trained, they say, and he's ready to contribute on day one. And John,
he's a plug-and-play dog.
Did you have some of the pictures? I had 3 pictures.
I've been putting them up.
Okay. That 17 one is my favorite, I think. Do you have that one?
I don't know what you're saying.
I got it here. That one there with the toys hitting him in the face that we were throwing it to him. I love that for some reason. That's awesome. I can't understand why he hasn't been adopted, but
they say he's a little special needs. He needs somebody that's going to take some time. It's finding the right person for Norris. That's what it comes down to. And that's what we're doing. We're putting the word out, trying to find, match him up with the right person.
Absolutely. That's what this whole segment and us want to get involved in with this and, Euclid Pet Pals. So what he's looking for is simple. He needs an active family. I don't think he's a dog that's just going to want to lounge around on the couch. So
nope.
He's going to want a family, active family. He's going to love them, play with them, keep helping him grow into the best version of himself. So if you're ready to add a loyal, energetic playmaker to your roster, go meet Norris at the Euclid Animal Shelter. They're located at 25100 Lakeland Boulevard in Euclid. It's right off 90 in the freeway right there. It's easy to get to. Hop on and off the freeway. You can also give them a call at 216-289-2057 to learn more. And let's get this longtime free agent signed, Dawg Pound. Norris, he's waited way too long.
Yes, he has.
And a couple other little things here. And you can see we've been scrolling their information, how to contact them down below. Just to give you a little bit of information with Euclid Pet Pals, their adoption fee, which I thought this was fantastic. I know of so many other places that are so much higher. Their adoption fee for dogs and puppies is only $80. With that fee, that includes spay and neutering, up to date on their routine shots, worming, tested for heartworm, flea treatment, and microchipping. So all that's covered for $80 to adopt. Most of the places I've seen are like $125 to $200 and something dollars. So, and then also dog licenses are available if you live in Cuyahoga County. You can get it right there at the shelter. It's $20.75. So again, visit their website. It's euclidpetpals.net. They do have a Facebook page, facebook.com /Euclid Pet Pals. They're on TikTok, Euclid Pet Pals. And again, their address is 25100 Lakeland Boulevard in Euclid, Ohio. Phone number 216-289-2057. So give them a shout out. And like I said, we'll be doing this weekly. And let's try and get Norris a home here. I think he deserves it.
For sure.
There you go. I didn't see there's a comment there. From Raw. Our boy Raw. Havana. Have the Browns announced the Shedeur jersey retirement game yet? Taking he's not a big fan. So
I guess not.
Anyway, on that note, let's switch gears just a little bit. This ties in now. This was funny because I think we tried to do it last week and we had kind of written up a thing for our other sponsor and couldn't really do it because we hadn't announced it yet. So I'm like, I can't really say that. But anyway, let me pull this up here, John. If you want to remove any of your things on there, that'd be great. But here we go. So this one is our other sponsor alert here. It is the Poo Poo We Do guys. And let me pull this banner up for them. There you go. All right. Dog owners, this one's for you. And with our new partnership with the Euclid Pet Pals, if you're thinking about adopting a dog or you just brought one home, first off, that's awesome. Second, nobody told you how fast that part adds up. And I can speak of that firsthand having a dog. But that's where Poo Poo We Do comes in. They're a pet waste removal service based out of Painesville Township. They cover all of Lake County and they handle the job that nobody wants to. Weekly, monthly, or even one-time cleanups, especially after a long Northeast Ohio winter when the snow's melted and reality sets in. And let's be honest, everyone loves the dog, but nobody's racing outside for that cleanup duty. And I'm as guilty as anyone. Their services start as low as $15 for one dog, which is pretty much a no-brainer if you value your time and your shoes and your lawnmowers wheels. So if you're bringing home a dog from Euclid Pet Pals or just tired of dealing with it yourself, this is the move for you. Give them a call at 440-941-9798 for a free quote and let them know you heard about them on There's a Gleam podcast. Poo Poo We Do. You handle the fun part. They handle the dirty work. Let's get that Gleam back. There you go, John. There's our other sponsor.
Love it.
Thank you to both our sponsors.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, everybody.
All right. We're short on time here.
Yes, we are.
There's a shocker. All right. I guess we'll do a quick 2-minute drill here.
Yeah, let's do the 2-minute drill.
I'm going to try and go as quickly as possible.
180. Omaha.
I don't know how quickly I'm going to be with some of these,
Omaha.
but so add a couple things for my 2-minute drill. Let's see. Where should I start with first? I'm going to start with this past Saturday. Did you watch the Kentucky Derby? Are you a Kentucky Derby person?
Of course I did. That's part of my in the land segment, my Kentucky Derby day.
All right. Well, we'll get to that here in a minute. So Kentucky Derby, the most exciting 2 minutes in sports was this past Saturday. And for those that know, care, watch it, Golden Tempo won the 152nd Kentucky Derby. He won it from the 19th position, and it's the second horse to win that from that post spot since 2012. So good for him. I think did you watch him going into the gates and stuff, John?
Oh, dude, I was so pissed. I had Great White was my horse.
Was that yours? We were watching and saw. We're like,
and my money on FanDuel is on Great White, and then he goes up on 2 legs, falls over, gets scratched, and then I'm scrambling. I couldn't get my bet in. It was I was pissed.
Wow. Yeah, no, that's crazy that you had him. So Golden Tempo won it. Good for him. Couple other little.
That was an amazing comeback by Golden Tempo.
Yeah, he was in last place at one point.
He's away.
The other couple interesting tidbits I thought from there. There's also history made with Cherie DeVoe becoming the first female trainer to win this historic race. There's a picture of Cherie. So I didn't know that. I thought that was kind of interesting. First female trainer to ever win a Kentucky Derby.
I found that interesting too.
Yeah. And then the other thing, another interesting history was that there's a nice picture of him. I don't want to get this wrong. Brothers Jose and Irad Ortiz finished 1 and 2 in the race. Jose won riding the long shot while Irad rode the pre-race favorite Renegade. And I'm glad he didn't win because I hear Renegade, I think of the Steelers, so good. But they finished first and second, and it's the first time brothers have finished 1 and 2 in a race. So that was pretty impressive.
That was.
And I got a serious question though for you, John.
Yeah.
Are you a mint julep person?
No.
Really?
I've had one. Not a fan. I'd rather just do an old fashioned. I like mint. I like mint in.
You like bourbon? That shocked me.
Well, I like mojitos for some reason. I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of. I love bourbon, but
wasn't mint julep primarily made with bourbon, or can you do it with other stuff?
I think it's probably bourbon and rye.
Okay. But I know you're not a big rye fan of bourbon, so I did. Our club had it. We were at our club for that with some friends and watched a race there. It was funny because half our TVs were, I guess, present, and then the 2 bigger ones in the back of our bar area were about 15, 20 seconds behind. We're like, oh boy. So anyway, I don't know if I like, they have the simple syrup. I do like the bourbon. I do like the mint. I'm kind of with you. I'll drink it. I'm not going to go out of my way, but anyway, I was going to talk Cavs. Yeah, they moved on from Raptors that game 7. Great. They ended up losing in game 1, and I felt like I know they tied it, but I don't know. I know they're on the road. It's the 1 seed, but they're just hard and frustrating team to watch. I don't remember a Cavs team that turns the ball over as much as this team has in the playoffs. And my quick rant of the week, I'm sick and tired of all this BS bullcrap streaming. The games are on Peacock. No, it's on Prime. Wait, it's on the Netflix. It sucks.
Yeah.
Put it on the damn regular TV and let it be. That's why your ratings suck, because you're all over the place. Nobody can find you. I'm tired of guessing which day you're on. So there's my rant. Anyway, final one. And I saw this. What's that, John?
It's exhausting trying to figure out what to watch and where. It just pisses me off after a while. Sometimes I just turn the TV off to screw it. I don't even care anymore.
Oh, totally agree. And like you said, sorry, this one's running a little bit behind. But anyway, I did want to mention this. I saw this actually late last night, and they announced this the other day. But I thought this was worth mentioning for this, and I have it up here. As you know, the Cleveland, we're going to have the Cleveland First Women's Pro Soccer team has a name now. They officially have a brand, a new WPSL Premier, that's the Women's Premier Soccer League, will be known as the Cleveland Astra. They're set to play in the spring of 2028, and they're going to play. I think they have that planned downtown soccer stadium. That and the other, I think the men's, and it's going to be somewhere downtown there. At first, I wasn't crazy. Their colors are going to be violet, midnight blue, and gold. And at first, I'm like, kind of reminds me of the Ravens a little bit, but if you go to their website, the Cleveland Astro was named as much. What they said, one of the quotes I saw was, it was named as much for the cosmos that inspired joy, curiosity, and wonder as the soccer stars that consistently emerge from our region. And according to the Cleveland Soccer Group, the brand is inspired by the team's mission to be the North Star of soccer in Northeast Ohio. So they'll now be one of 3 teams in the new women's professional soccer league. There's another one in Columbus and Dayton. And if you want, you can check out their information and how they came up with the name, the colors, and all that, which was pretty fascinating. It's at clevelandastra.com and learn more about them. And that's it for me, John.
My first take on that name is I don't like it. Maybe it will grow on me over time. I just don't like the name at all.
I kind of go to their website and read. They had so much stuff, and I knew time was going to be an issue. I had a reason why they had the bear, Ursa Major, the North Star, all that stuff, the star, but it was just too much to go into. But their website kind of breaks down the colors. And they said it was from feedback from fans. So, hey, I'll give it a shot. It's something different, right?
I'll give anything a shot. My first reaction is, don't think I like that name, but it can grow on me.
All right. Well, we'll see.
I'm not afraid to change my mind. I'll say when I'm wrong.
There you go.
I'm comfortable with my skin.
Do you have a 2-minute?
No, not this week. I don't.
Really? Is that because we're short on time? Because I thought you had something.
I do, Steve, but we are short on time, and I've got to get to work today.
Hey, I've got all day. The only thing on my list today is I'm meeting my buddy Chris, and we're doing some wings. I'm going back to that Craggy's. Remember I did that before? Yeah. What's that?
I said, yeah, I remember that. I want your life.
There you go.
I'll save my 2-minute drill for next week.
All right. And then the land. So we're back with the land segment. Let me pull that up. And we had a week off there, but where did you go this week, John?
So this week, Steve, I went to Easy Out in Lakewood. It's located at 11822 Detroit Avenue, right near 117th in Detroit.
Yeah.
Easy to get to for East Siders even, because you just take the shoreway over. So my wife, Erin, and I met up with my sister, Catherine, and her husband, Eric. We went out for the Kentucky Derby. We got there around 6 o'clock, about an hour before the Derby started.
Okay.
We grabbed the last 4 top table, and it was starting to get busy then. And it just told me that this place is a place where people clearly know is a good spot to go for sports. And now they had just opened up on Super Bowl Sunday this year. So they've been open for several months. But man, Steve, the atmosphere is amazing. We've got to go to this place.
Looks awesome. I've been posting up the pictures, scrolling around, if you can see. I love the Albert Bell bicep photo.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
They had so many wild memorabilia, like posters and Brown stuff, Indians, Cavs, and then like just other memorabilia. It was awesome. So
was it that busy because of the Derby, or is it always that busy?
I've got a feel. Well, I'm sure it was busy because of Derby Saturday night, but I've got a feeling, Steve, this place might be the premier sports bar in Lakewood right now. I think.
Really, that's saying a lot because there are a ton of them.
There are, but this place was we'll go up there. You'll see it.
Okay.
It's an amazing place. So last week when we went, my sister ordered the starting lineup appetizer platter.
Mm-hmm.
It had 2 pigskin poppers, which are, Steve, cream cheese, pulled pork, stuffed jalapenos, wrapped in bacon, and finished with barbecue sauce.
Sounds amazing, actually. I'm hungry.
Yeah. 3 mini corn dogs, soft pretzel, onion rings. Then they had the mustard, like the stadium mustard.
Yeah.
Beer cheese. And let me tell you, the poppers were amazing.
Where are they?
Oh, they're so good. And then I had a corn dog too, which had like I said, the Cleveland Stadium mustard.
Okay.
It's legit. They got stadium mustard.
Yes, sir.
And then since it's Derby Day, I had the Woodford Reserve actually it's old fashioned, not a Manhattan. I used to do Manhattans, but the special was the old fashioned.
I always get those confused with old fashioned and Manhattan. I know one's a little sweeter than the other, but I'll drink both of them. We're both bourbon guys, so I'll drink either. But
yeah, it was solid pour. It was a Woodford Reserve since they were sponsoring the Kentucky Derby.
Yeah.
And then when I ordered my drink, the waitress came by and she said, okay, since you got a drink special, pull a card. I pull a card. It's got a horse's name on it. And then she said something like, well, yeah, if that horse places or wins, you get something. I didn't really understand what was going on. But so I had my card. My horse was Osella, and Osella actually came in third.
Nice.
So actually I forgot that I pulled that out because I put it in my pocket. And some guy comes by and goes, hey, did you have Osella? I'm like, yeah. So he gave me a Woodford Reserve t-shirt, which was nice.
Oh, that's awesome.
And especially that was good because my horse, Great White, got scratched and my whole Kentucky Derby was.
Well, I'm glad to see somebody like you got it. You actually are a big bourbon guy. I know you do like Woodford. We've talked about that. They have some good bourbon. So you're a guy that actually will appreciate and wear that shirt proudly. So good for you. Good for you. Good for me. Good for everybody.
Now, so the wings, Steve, you know I got wings, right? Because what do I get when I go anywhere? Wings.
Wings. They look phenomenal.
One little problem. They were not sauced quite enough. That is the only little issue I had. But that was very small little issue because, Steve, they may be the most tender wings I ever had in my life.
Really? Yeah. Okay.
So and then I found out why. They get their wings. I don't know if they get them from Good Company over in Battery Park or they use the same recipe as Good Company in Battery Park.
Mm-hmm.
But they're called 72-hour wings. They marinate them for 2 days in dry spices. On the third day, they slow braise them, and then they fry them to order, and then add the sauce.
Oh, wow.
You know, sometimes you get the drumette, and you pull it. It's hard sometimes, like to pull away from the bone.
Yeah.
These just fell off the bone. Amazing, Steve. You've got to try these wings.
Okay, I'm a drum guy, and I think you're more of a flat guy. Did you? Yeah. That's the big question. Did you ask them all for flats?
No, I did not.
I thought you were going to from that. You forgot, huh?
I got my own rule.
That's right. You said you were going to start. That's how you want to eat them. So next time you go, you can try.
Exactly. But anyway, Steve, probably one of the best sports bars I've been to in a long, long time.
We're gonna have to go. We're gonna grab a couple buddies and go up there and check it out. Then sounds awesome. Looked amazing. I thought the wings looked phenomenal, to be honest with you.
They were phenomenal. And look, I'm picky.
Yeah, you are.
I'm very picky. So when I say they weren't sauced enough, you know what? They probably were for most people.
Yeah, you know what? I bust your balls, but you know what? The price of stuff now anymore, you should be picky. You know, you're paying good money for a lot. This stuff's not cheap anymore. Hell, I'm going to a wing day with Chris here after this show for some lunch to get some wings. It's because it's like 75-cent wing day. I'm too cheap. We popped. John, I went to BW3s for the first time in forever.
Well, yeah, that's a shock. Talk about sticker shock.
Well, we got done working out Monday, and then for lunch, I wanted to maybe get breakfast. Chris was like, hey, he's been enamored with the app, all you can eat app thing. So we went there to get $10 apps and eat all this fried crappy food. But yeah, for 10 wings, it was like $16. So anyway, that's another story. No, we're pressing late. So overall, great place. A+, you said?
A++++, just like that lady in the Teacher and Christmas Story. Plus.
Oh my God, that's awesome. So, all right, well, there you go. Check out Easy Out and see what they have to offer. It's highly recommended by John here, and there's a Gleam podcast. So there you go. So, all right, on that note, we're going to do our closing comments here. Pop this bad boy up and just want to say thank you for joining us today. It's always a pleasure. Thank you for the comments. We'd like to thank our sponsors, Wet Jet Pressure Washing and Poo Poo We Do. So check them out. We have info on we also have their info on our Facebook page. Again, we're live on Wednesdays at noon, YouTube, Facebook, and X. You can find us both on TikTok. You can listen to our podcast, Apple, Spotify, YouTube, which will play either later today or on Thursdays. And check out our website, there'sagleam.com. Again, don't forget, leave us a message. Love to hear from you. And help us spread the word and share as much as possible. We really appreciate it. We appreciate your help. Enjoy all the comments and feedback. John, anything else you want to add today?
I just want to say happy Mother's Day this Sunday to all the moms out there.
Great call.
Yeah. So happy Mother's Day. And then I'm on TikTok. Like we said, John CLE, there's a Gleam, and on X at John CLE at John in the Land.
That's a good call on that. Yeah. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. I know my wife looking forward to do something special with her I know she's got a big May tea at the club on Monday that they do for all the mothers. So awesome. Happy Mother's Day to that. And on that note, again, thank you for joining us. Have a great week, everybody. And remember, go Browns. And remember what Coach Marty would say.
Gleam, man. There's a gleam. Let's get the gleam, all right? Let's go.
All right, everybody. Have a great day, and we will see you next week.
Go Browns.
Go Browns.